Blood bees. Okay, ready, checking. Lucy. I only just picked up the game again after a many-year hiatus a couple days ago. Oh, well, welcome back, Master Browder. How do you like The War Within so far? Rest in peace, Dance. Yeah, we are going to pull... I don't know what we are looking for something. I'm not sure what we're looking for. But welcome back to World of Warcraft. How do you like The War Within so far? Oh, what's the invisibility pot called? "12 to 18 seconds. Also, what did you come back as? Did you come back as a tank, a healer, or DPS? We are about to run a 12-seater of Pain. We are just waiting for everybody to buy what they need. They're buying stuff really quick. Which I don't mind everybody buying stuff as long as we are ready for the key when the key goes in. He says ready. And I'm pretty sure we raided with this Bonbon guy before, but I don't remember for sure. Ready, check. I think it was like a long time ago. Okay, everyone is ready. Countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dang, I almost missed that. Oh, welcome to the community, Master Browder. And here we focus on dungeons, but we do run community raids twice a week if you're interested in joining any of our community raids. And we are a good place for new or old or returning players to join the community, because we're working on building a community. And we focus on teaching mechanics, so we do teach mechanics, talk about mechanics, and we talk about a lot of other stuff too. Careful of green circles. More green circles. Bull is already dead. Make sure that you are interrupting that necrotic bolt. It does help out the healers a lot if you can get that interrupt. I should have bought some Cave Dweller's Delight. Watch that frontal. Hold on. I'm going to look at the chat in 2 seconds. As soon as I know I'm not going to die when I look at the chat. Okay. Enjoying it. I just feel lost most of the time because the game is so different. What expansion did you play last? We have a lot of people who came back from Cataclysm here. A couple people who came back from Pandera, but a lot of people who came back from Cataclysm. And we have a lot of players who have been playing the game for a long time. I started playing in Shadowlands Season 2. And I can tell you the game is a lot different from Shadowlands Season 2. Between the talent trees and the dungeons. The dungeons are built a lot more like old dungeons. And they changed the characters a lot with the... Well, the talent trees changed the characters a lot, just the idea of it. And also the hero talents are a big deal. Hero talents are awesome. They're bonus talents for your guy. But they are also a big deal.
Run out.
But if you were into more like solo content, like gearing your character alone, there are delves as well. So you can run delves, that's new for the War Within. And the delves, you can gear your character in almost all champion gear with just delves. The delves look like the capes mapped throughout the War Within, or marked with throughout the War Within quest maps. If you ran the War Within story line, it brought you through a delve in the Dorganal area. Those delves basically, they expand throughout the entire area, and those are a good way to gear alone. But if you're more into like Mythic Plus, Mythic content, then you are welcome to ask any questions you'd like about the Mythic content, because most Mythic questions I can answer. And if I can't answer it, well, I'll find you an answer and I will get back to you. Now the raids, we do run community raids twice a week. And you are welcome to come to those if you like. You do have to be level 80 before you can run a Mythic raid though. Ouch. Number 1 rule as a tank. Never turn your back to the boss. Remember that you cannot parry, you cannot dodge from your back, which means you are taking the full force, the full damage from that boss straight to your back. Or add. We have 4%, or 4%. We have 4 seconds left on our Abomination Limbs, then we're going to use our Abomination Limbs. Careful with those swords. Those swords are a one-shot in higher keys. You want to make sure you are not standing in those swords. Just if you see a sword, clear out. You can tell where the swords are because they're actually going to put a green circle on the floor. You just want to make sure you are stepping away from that green circle. The interrupting roar is going to silence people. So if you are a caster, you want to make sure you are not casting during the interrupting roar. Careful with swords again. Interrupting roar. Interrupting roar also does a burst of damage, so if you're low on health, make sure you use either a health pot or some kind of defensive to be careful. Just to be safe. I might be safe not to be careful. I was picturing be careful because the ads were showing up, but yeah, be safe. I think Shadowlands was the last I played. I didn't play a ton. That was like the first time I'd played since Burning Crusade. Gotcha. Burning Crusade is one of the original expansions, I think. Let me look. Burning Crusade is the original expansion. That's classic, then Burning Crusade. Well, welcome back to World of Warcraft. I personally liked Shadowlands a lot. Shadowlands is actually, that's where I started playing. I started playing in Season 2 of Shadowlands. And then Dragonflight. Dragonflight was cool, but I think the War Within is cooler than Dragonflight. But if you have any questions about what World of Warcraft is, like what you should do now, I can help the best I can. Gearing wise, I don't have a lot of good gearing tips, but dungeon raid mechanics, quests, I can help you with any of those. Oh, the other thing I would recommend though, if you did just start playing again, one, I would recommend finishing the War Within story. The War Within story unlocks a lot of different places, so just if you run through the War Within story, you're going to kind of get caught up because the War Within story it recaps a lot of the old things that have happened in the past. So it also shows like a brief summary of what happened to Sylvanas in Shadowlands, and it shows Khadgar from Dragonflight, shows where he is. It shows a lot of the past things and the staple parts of the War Within and where World of Warcraft is right now. So I do recommend just running this story just to get caught back up. I can help with gearing. Typing now, says Battle Masters. So Battle Masters here does also string. If you'd like to check out Battle Masters.
Interrupt.
First level and do the main story quest. Then open world content, normal dungeons. Then you'll go from normal dungeons to heroic dungeons and looking for raid. Easy mode raiding. Battle Masters. So you can't actually skip this guy at the end of the hall. We are not going to skip it. We're going to pull it. Oh, dang. We got the shield one. Maybe we should have skipped it. Yeah. The problem is I didn't tell everybody that we were going to skip it before the dungeon. So it would be hard to coordinate with the other two pugs how to skip. The invisibility potions, that doesn't work on him. You have to run straight up the stairs. Oh, we abandoned our healer and our druid. From there, you decide if you want to do primarily dungeons. From there, you decide if you want to primarily do dungeons or raids. Your gear will depend on the route you want to take. Progress. Those are actually, that is a good summary. Battle Masters. How to gear. Oh. You have to stand on the steps. I think he doesn't like what I'm doing with the stairs. Or with the backing up. No, I think the healer did. Oh, no, he reincarnated. I was gonna say, I think the healer released too. Oh, it's... open your map. It's the only door that leads into a pathway. The only door that doesn't have a doorway. Yep, you're going the right way. And then go left. Oh, they did know you could skip him. That's funny. Sounds like I'm on the right track for now then. Leveling and campaign quests, thanks. Well, Master Browder, if you have any other questions. Also, we do have an in-game community if you're interested in joining the in-game community. I can share the link after the dungeon. I can't share it in the dungeon. But after the dungeon, I can share it, and then you can ask any questions you want in-game, in our in-game community as well.
Watch your step.
Focus down the banner. Careful of the massive cleave. Make sure you step out of the massive cleave. Crushing slam. You want to step left or right to avoid the crushing slam.
Defensive. Attack totem.
It was a cry out in pain. I don't know. I wasn't reading the chat until that part.
Defensive.
Focusing down the banner.
Watch your step.
Careful with the frontal. Make sure you're stepping behind the boss to avoid the frontal. Massive cleave. Step out of massive cleave. Defending crush. Step out of the circle during defending crush. We actually need your DPS.
Attack totem.
Banner.
Defensive.
Focus the banner. You do want to focus down this banner as quickly as possible. What the banner is going to do is it's going to reduce your movement speed, and the longer the banner is up, the slower you walk. For some classes that are already slow, like Paladins or Death Knights, it makes it very hard to walk around after the banner has been up for a while. You want to focus down the banner as quickly as possible to make it easier for everybody to avoid the frontals.
Defensive.
Focus down the banner. Oh, and mages. I would probably put mages on the same level as Death Knights.
Watch your step.
Careful with the frontal. Watch the massive cleave. Out of the defending crush. 39% left on this boss. We did not hero.
Attack totem. Defensive.
Focus down the banner. That's alright, we'll go to the chains boss next.
Watch your step.
Watch the frontal, be careful with the frontal. Massive cleave, make sure you step behind the boss for massive cleave. Defending crush, step out of the defending crush.
Attack totem.
Going over to the oppressive banner. Careful with the oppressive banner. You want to focus down this oppressive banner as quickly as possible.
Watch your step.
Massive cleave. Be careful with the massive cleave. Defending crush. Oh, speaking of. Okay. Speaking of massive crush. I've seen theory, a lot of theory, that they're bringing in a Legion remix. If they're bringing in a Legion remix and you're actually, if you're returning the Game Master Browder, during the remixes, it's really easy to level your characters. Like, during the Pandera remix, I leveled 5 Death Knights. I won't be leveling 5 Death Knights this time. I'll probably level a variety of characters. But if you're interested in leveling alts, I would suggest doing it during any remixes. Because during the remix events, you can level your alts in maybe 2 hours. So, also, if you're leveling a bunch of alts and you want to... Hold on. If you're leveling a bunch of alts and you're like not sure which one you want to main, make sure you level one to 80 before you start working on the next one. Because after you level one character to 80, you're going to get a 5% experience buff on your next character. So your first alt to 80, you'll get 5% experience buff on the next alt you level. And then when you level him to 80, you'll get a 10% experience buff on the next alt you level. And when you level him to 80, you'll get a 15% and so on, right? It caps at 25%. But I would recommend making sure that you get them to 80 before you move on to your next alt. That way you get the experience buff when you're leveling your other alts. The other thing is a lot of people I play with who were returning, like when they reactivated their account, a lot of the old currency and stuff had been deleted. So I would recommend checking your mailbox on all your alts because they did send them some like gold and some replacement items for some of their older items that they had just deleted. So I would recommend checking your mailbox for any of your older items that may have been mailed to you. Because you can get, some of the older accounts were mailed gold and stuff. The other thing is, the characters were in some weird spots, and it was hard to get the characters back to the mainland. Like, their Hearthstones and stuff were in weird spots. If your characters happen to be in, I don't know where Burning Crusade is, but if they're not in the mainland, we can't always send a mage for your guys. You just ask for help in the chat or in the community Discord, and we can send a mage to come and collect your guy. Because I know some of the older characters, they ended up in some weird spots, and it was really hard to get them back to Stormwind. The easiest way to get them back to Stormwind is going to be use a mage portal. And then from Stormwind, you can take them all to Dorganel. Although they might give you the paper quest after you complete your quest. It might give you the paper quest in your quest log. And then the paper quest, you'll be able to port them all straight over to Dorganel. But if that doesn't show up, because I know it hasn't shown up in some people, then I would recommend asking for a mage. Mages help a lot. Careful with the Decaying Strike. How goes the keys? Hello, Furrow, and welcome back. So the keys are actually going really well. We are currently running a 12 Theater of Pain. This is the highest level key we have run this season.
Watch your step.
So we got a neck from the vault, which is totally awesome. It had way too much mastery, but it worked. So we got a neck from the vault. We enchanted it. We put our gem slots in it.
Watch your step.
And this is the first key we've run today, but it is going very well. Wait, is this? No, I think this is the second key we've run. Yeah, this is the second key we've run today. We ran an 11 Dark Flame Cleft. And then we got a 12 Theater of Pain, and we are doing well so far. Although I underestimated the party in the last room, and we should have skipped the last boss on the banner area. I assumed the party wouldn't know the skip. I should have assumed the party would know the skip. So we did. We died a couple of times there, but I'm hoping that does not cost us a key. I do miss reforging stats. Yeah, stats are awesome. Did you get anything good in your... Did you get anything good in your vault this week, Furrow? Pulling straight into the boss because we have hero, so we are going straight to the boss. Pulling in the leftover guys. Watch those chains. Ah, shoot. Watch those chains. You do not want to get stuck by the chains.
Defensive.
Remember, you want to dodge into an opening after the first set of chains, and then be careful not to get hit by the second batch of chains that come through.
Run. Defensive.
Careful the oozing leftovers. Pulling in all the oozing leftovers. Gorechop. Gorechop has 74% left.
Run.
Now, I do kill the oozing leftovers in the center of the room. The reason I killed...
Defensive. Watch your feet. Defensive.
Test, test. Okay, my headphones turned off again, but they are back. Be careful with the leftovers again. Ah, shoot. That was not cool.
Defensive.
Hateful Strike is the tank buster. Come on, don't die. That was not fair. 48% left on the boss.
Defensive.
Gotta get those losing leftovers off of our party. So,
Run.
careful with the chains.
Defensive.
Oi. Pulling the leftovers over again. Good note is, Gorechop is actually magic damage, so you can use your anti-magic shell on that cast.
Defensive.
I mean, Hateful Strike is magic damage,
Run.
so you can use your anti-magic shell on that cast. A second.
Defensive.
Second tier piece. But it was only 623, but I grabbed it. No, that's awesome. 2 set is always awesome. And as soon as you get
Defensive.
Mythic on the wall, you can always just convert them with the conversion. So just starting with your 2 set, that's really good. Have you decided on a main now, Furrow? Or are you still trying to decide? There it is. Alright, we are going to the last room. I think we just need... I want to say we need 6 minutes in the last area, which means we have to clear the next room in 4 minutes. I don't know if that's realistic, but we'll try that. Let's say we need 4 minutes in the last area. I'm coming, everybody. Go to end, he says. Yep, we are going to end. The reason we go to end is because I believe it is easier to go to the end than it is to stop halfway through. Also, you end up with less casualties. Why? Oh. Okay, be careful with this Portal Guardian. Remember, you want to use CCs or interrupts to interrupt the Binding Souls. Soul Storm, use defensive. Soul Storm does deal a lot of AoE damage to the party. You want to make sure you are using defensive during the Soul Storm cast. It's a huge help to 2-set piece. Yeah, congratulations on your 2-set, bro. That's awesome. Now you're well on your way to start grinding Mythic or raids. And or to just run through the world and get your pets and mounts and achievement stuff. They did bring back a couple of there's a couple of glory achievements. Apparently I was looking at the glory achievements, and I've almost cleared the Shadowlands glory achievement. Because we always go to the bone guys. Well, the bone guys can one-shot you with the bone spears. They do actually have less health and take less time to kill. Also, as long as we have a Soothe in the party, which we do have a Soothe in the party, their health is significantly lower than the other party. Oh, we have 2 Soothes then. If you can eat the shield and the druid can both remove the shield, then we have 2 shields in our party. And finish the campaign today. Oh, congratulations on finishing the campaign today, Furrow. Did you see the neck you got at the end of or it's a back. Did you see the back you got at the end of the campaign? Anduin's back. It's kind of cool looking. It's like a scarf, but it's kind of awesome. Also, I really hope they make those, the other people, the other characters they showed, I don't remember what they were called, but the colorful human people. I really hope they make those a playable race, because that would be awesome. %, left on the Guardian. Yeah, cool, Transmog. Make sure you're interrupting these frost casts. Careful not to let them go off.
Watch your step.
Spirit Frost. Well, Spirit Frost does not deal a lot of damage. Over time, it can deal a lot of damage. So if you have an interrupt and it's not on cooldown, you just want to throw your interrupt on those Spirit Frost casts. Keep them from casting at your party.
Watch your step.
Careful, the Death Winds. Death Winds again.
Watch your step.
Spirit Frost, make sure you're interrupting the Spirit Frost cast. Hello, AWOL Toxic. How have you been? You release in the middle, always. I would wait.
Watch your step.
Shoot. I stood in the fear and I almost died. Yeah, I would wait for the res. Hello, AWOL Toxic. How have you been? I don't think... But we are currently running a 12 Theater of Pain. Very well. How about yourself? I've been doing very well. We are running a 12 Theater of Pain. Sadly, we are not going to time this. But the key overall is going very well. Plus, it'll put an 11 on our wall for next week, which is kind of awesome. Speaking of, did you get anything good on your vault this week?
Watch your step. Watch your step.
Be careful with the fear. Make sure you're stepping left or right to get out of the death winds. Necrotic
Watch your
bolt. You want to make sure you're interrupting necrotic bolt.
Watch your step.
Watch that death winds cast again. Even if it looks like the ad is about to die,
Watch your step.
let's see if they'll finish for us. Well, actually, the Death Knight exclusively said he wanted the cure at the end, so he definitely will. I think the healer will, just because it's a vault, it's a slot in the wall. So I think he'll be good. Pull in the boss. Absolutely, my vault was pretty decent. My mythic drop was a 10 last week. Your mythic drop from 10 last week. You went for the hero chess piece? Gotcha. Well, I would not be disappointed in a hero chess piece because hero chess piece is still really good. That's still a huge buff to stats, especially as a tank. Like, a chess piece is a big deal. So I would not be disappointed in a hero chess piece. Plus, you can always convert your hero chess piece into a tier set piece if it's the wrong stats or anything. Now, I mean, I would be careful. Like, if you're looting mythic, you could loot a mythic chess piece, and then you could want the conversion token for that. But you can always use a conversion token on it. We should be getting new conversion tokens, I think, this week. Oh. Just now? Oops. I'll Mirage you again, because we need... Okay, don't take it then. Focusing down the ads. Careful with those soul wells. Make sure you're spreading out with the soul well. I do need to turn this arrow away from the party so I don't snipe anybody with that. Big time. I was just a bit bummed that I got the Elgari Mythic Trinket for healers. Luckily, though, the chest was hero and tier, so I was happy with it. Oh, nice. Your chest was tier set. See, that's awesome. That's a big deal. And yeah, that kind of sucks. That's what I did here. I got this here, the Cinderbrew Stein. I don't know if it's any good, but I looted it because it was mythic. But that was my first mythic drop, was a trinket that I don't know if it's any good. But since then, I have gotten this trinket. I've gotten the Pacemaker. Oh, shoot. I got the Pacemaker. And the Pacemaker supposedly is one of the best healing or tanking trinkets, so I sniped our Demon Hunter friend. 14% left on the boss.
The void offers no second chances.
Yeah, it was probably... I mean, it's always safer. Running 110 is always good for your vault, but it's always safer to run at least 4 vaults, 4 10s. That way you get 2 slots in the vault, if possible. That's not always possible. That wasn't possible for me the first time I got my 10 on the vault 2 weeks ago. I would say it was 2 weeks ago. But I kind of can't wait until the keys are locked at 12s. As soon as you have all timed 12s, your keys can actually get locked at 12s. Yes. your keys can actually get locked at 12s, and you don't have to worry about going underneath a 12 ever again. Then it's a choice to run below a 12. It's not a like a requirement. Pacemaker is awesome. The one you got is still pretty good, right? True, that's what I've been doing so far. I went hard and did 4 10s today. Hey, congratulations, AWOL Toxic. 4 10s, that's huge. What 10 keys did you run? Ah, shoot. Like what dungeons were they? I know sometimes it's easier to run 4 of whatever the easiest 10 key is. You just run 4 like Theater Pain, 4 times. Or did you run like a variety? You ran like 4 like Theater Pain, Cinder Brew, and Priory. That's 3. And Dark Flame Cleft. There, that's 4. I don't think he's on CD. I don't think he's used it on the last pull.
Behold my power and despair.
Like, I don't think he's... Let's see.
Defensive.
Priory, Theater, Cinderbrew, and Floodgate. Nice.
Stay
Yeah,
away
that's
from
awesome. You
lines.
did all the harder ones. I would consider Cinderbrew at Priory and Floodgate all some of the hardest dungeons.
Run.
Yeah,
Run
he
out.
says he's going to hero at 50%.
Defensive.
No. Careful with the Death Bolts.
Stay away
Make sure
from
you're using
lines.
CCs and or interrupts on those Death Bolts.
Defensive.
Careful with that Reaping Scythe. Don't forget that Reaping Scythe is going to be your tank buster on this boss. And you want to make sure you are using a defensive during that Reaping Scythe cast. Priory
Defensive.
Reaping Scythe again. But congratulations, they won't toxic. That's awesome. 57% left on the boss.
Run out.
Spread out with the circles.
Run.
Grasping Rift. Don't forget that the first Death Bolt that these ads shoot off, there is going to be directed at the person who summoned the ad. So your ad, the one that you summoned with the circle, is going to cast Death Bolt at you first. So if you are low on health, or just don't have a health pot or defensive or anything, I recommend interrupting your
Stay away from
ad,
lines.
because your ad is going to shoot at you first. We have 4 minutes on a battle res, 37% on the boss. Watch those ghosts. Grasping Rift is up again.
Run out. Defensive.
Reaping Scythe. Jimmy Crispix. Watch the Ghost Rhinos. Careful not to stand in line with Ghost Rhinos. Dark Devastation. Frontal from the boss. You want to make sure you are walking left or right to avoid the frontal from the boss.
Defensive. Run.
Be careful not to get sucked into the boss. Watch those ghosts.
Stay away from lines.
Watch that frontal. Ghosts again.
Defensive. Interrupt. Run.
Careful that ad casting Death Bolt.
Stay away from lines.
Grasping Rift.
Defensive.
I want to read the chat, but then I might die. Aw, dang, I died anyways.
Trial in failure.
Thanks, dude. Trying to catch up to you. I'm at 2380 something. Hey, congratulations, AWOL Toxic. 2380 is really good. At 2500, you get Keystone Hero. Our goal this season is Keystone Legend. And I'm sure if you'll catch up in no time. I don't know. I think he means hero.
Behold my power and despair.
Defensive.
Careful that Reaping Scythe cast.
Stay away from lines.
So our Raider IO is currently, what are we currently? Our Raider IO is currently 2599.
Run.
Itself demands your souls.
Run out.
Careful those circles.
Defensive. Stay away from lines.
76% left on the boss. Watch that beam.
Defensive. Run.
Itself demands your souls.
Grasping Rift again. Careful not to get pulled into the rift.
Defensive. Stay away from lines.
Swept into oblivion.
Oh man. And you're super close. We
Run
were
out.
super close.
Defensive.
Yeah, I would until after the ads go away.
Run.
Okay, well then take it.
Demands your souls.
Interrupt.
58% left on the boss. We're gonna hero at 50%. Watch that frontal. Frontal's trying to snipe everybody out. Yeah, we were super close, but sadly I died. Now, what I could have done to keep myself from dying is I could have used Iceborne Fortitude. I'm pretty sure Iceborne Fortitude was not on cooldown. The other thing I could have done is I could have Shadow Melded, let my creature, my goal, take aggro
Defensive.
for a second while I healed myself, and then take an aggro back off my goal. Because as long as that goal is alive, Shadow Meld doesn't actually work to reset the boss. So you can use Shadow Meld just to put the boss on your ad. Just put the boss on your ad for a second so that you can then refocus the boss.
Run.
Careful with the ghost.
Run out. Defensive.
Okay, Death Bolt. Make sure you're interrupting those Death Bolts. Focus down the ads as soon as they show up. Watch the frontal from the boss. Don't forget that the frontal is going to pick a random player and shoot in that player's direction. The boss is then going to turn a quarter of the way around himself.
Defensive.
Not all the way around himself, just a quarter of the way. So it's safest to run behind the boss when you see the boss shooting his beam out. Just because you don't know if the beam is going to turn left or right, but you do know that it's only going to shoot a quarter of the way
Stay away
around
from
the
lines.
boss.
Your mortal ken.
11% left on the boss.
Run out. Defensive.
Okay. Gotta get my health up before the next Reaping Scythe.
Stay away from
Watch those
lines.
ads, beam. Interrupt the Death Bolts. 30% left on the boss.
Defensive.
Come on, get your health back up. 1% left on the boss. We do get one free battle res at the end, so we are going to use it on our healer. Never mind. Everybody released super fast.
Refa has been defeated! I can hardly believe it! All hail
Okay, well that wasn't totally bad. We finished a 12 Theater of Pain, 10 minutes and 54 seconds overtime.